Hey guys, so my schedule got switched this week. That's why my video wasn't up earlier like it usually is. I'm actually working Wednesday mornings now, and I come home at 6. So that's the time I'll be making videos at about 6-ish. For the topic of this week, would we rather meet our great-grandchildren or our great-grandparents? I have to agree with Emily. It has to be the great-grandchildren. As for my great-grandparents, I don't know much about them, but according to what my grandmother has told me while she was alive, she told me that my great-grandparents lived in Puerto Rico, and that they didn't have a lot of the advancements we have now. Whenever somebody got sick, they went to the witch doctor. They were actually pretty poor. They were very poor for their whole lives. Yeah, and their kids were put to work very young. It just doesn't seem fun. But as the generations are going, there's more education and more opportunities, and my family is most certainly more wealthy than they were 2 generations ago. And I think 2 generations from now, hopefully, I continue to see improvements in the state of just wealth and education in general. So yeah, my great grandchildren. What would I ask them? I probably wouldn't ask too much about technology. I expect technology to get really, really good. I would ask them more about society. Online movements and petitions have made the world more democratic. I just finished reading Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Right off the bat, I'm gonna say it's an 8.5 out of 10. You have to get this book and read it now. It provides an alternate history, and it was very, very, very well researched. I love the way they took events in his life and they sort of put it in with the whole vampire thing. It's pretty awesome. It's not like super scary. It's actually more of an emotional walk through Abraham Lincoln's life. Mostly it's just a telling of his secret diaries and the things that he wrote about losing children, meeting women, killing vampires, just normal things. I don't want to ruin the ending, but I'll give you a little bit of the story. There's sort of this secret plot that the vampires have to enslave all peoples for the purpose of their hunger, I guess you could say. And the abolitionist movement in the United States is anti to what the vampires want. The vampires, many of them very wealthy, they could live forever, indefinitely, have amassed this wealth, and a lot of them were buying slaves that were old and sick and couldn't do work for the purposes of eating them. Abraham Lincoln, from a very young age, was an abolitionist. His father didn't believe in slavery, and he grew up very, very poor. And at the end of his life, I'm not going to say he was very wealthy, but he had enough, and he supported his family. He was a loving father. It's just an awesome book to read. And if you don't like the vampire part of this book, I still think that there's enough truth in the history of his life that you could read this book and gain some knowledge. So there's that too. I went to a thrift store earlier this week and I found this ring. It's sterling silver. I really liked it, so I bought it. But it was only 20 bucks and it's a pretty heavy ring, so I'm happy that I bought silver for. I mean, it's just badass. It's just badass. So, what am I reading now? Right now, I'm reading a story by Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know if you remember, but I bought this last year and I haven't been able to crack it open to read anything. Currently, I'm reading the story called The Unparalleled Adventure of One Hans Pfaall. So, when I'm done reading it, I'm probably 10 pages away from finishing it, so I'll probably finish it within the next 2 or 3 days. So, next week, I'll probably give you a small review of that. So, I'm just gonna let you all go. See you all. Ciao.